Welcome to Books and Booze, a bookish and wine and juice podcast. Whether you're a fan of books, wine, or true crime, this is the place for you. Pour yourself a glass of whatever you enjoy and enjoy the show. Cheers! Hi Alyssa, welcome to the show. You are a bookstagrammer and you're coming on today to talk to me about You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, which is a book we've both recently read. But before we get into it, I thought I'd introduce you to everyone. So do you want to let us know where your love of books comes from and all that?
Sure. It probably started with Harry Potter when I was younger. And then I got really into action type books, like The Da Vinci Code was probably the first one I read in high school. And then I just kind of took it from there. I really got into a dystopian phase, and then now I
Oh,
really love
really?
thrillers.
Okay. Dystopians are something I've never really been able to get into. And I've never even read The Da Vinci Code either.
Oh yeah, that one's more of a like use history to drive like a new action sort of treasure hunt type deal. I really like James Rollins for those types of books. He's my favorite author.
Okay. So what is your Bookstagram handle for everyone listening?
It is The Sleuth Reader.
So you love your true crime then?
Yes, I do.
Brilliant. Are you a murderino by any chance?
I am a little bit.
Yes. I knew I had good vibes from you. What are you drinking tonight, Alyssa?
Oh, I decided to go with a Amaretto Sour because I made a few last night and they were delicious.
What is that?
It's Amaretto. It's sort of like an Italian liqueur.
Uh-huh.
Di Serono is the one that I always use, and then you just put a little bit of sour mix in with it.
Ooh, that sounds really nice. Yeah, I knew I'd hit the jackpot when I messaged you to come onto the podcast, and you said that your fridge is always stocked with white wine. I was like, "Yep, ka-ching." I'm busy having a gin and tonic.
Ooh, my sister
So
loves
yeah,
those.
so good. A lot of people think it means you're a granny, but so out of all the every genre, every book, what's your favorite genre and book and why?
Probably thrillers, and I would say murder whodunits specifically, because I just love the whole locked room mystery, trapped with the murderer, and I love trying to figure out who it is.
And so your favorite book would be?
Most recently, I'm going to go with Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. He's really my favorite author at the moment. His books just keep getting better and better.
Okay, interesting. He's a bit of a hit or miss for me. Like some of them I really like. I did like Lock Every Door, and I think I really enjoyed Final Girls. But what's the other one he did?
The Last Time I Lied.
Yeah, I don't know. That one just didn't really resonate with me.
That one was probably the hardest to get into because it was a little
Mm.
bit longer, but it really, I loved the ending on it, I think, was what got me with that one.
Well, interesting. So, what did you think of You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen? Like, how would you describe the premise if you were to tell someone about it?
The premise, I would say, is a cat and mouse type thriller. You're not sure who the prey is at the beginning. The Moore sisters are definitely up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
But Shay seems to be having secrets herself. I thought it was an interesting take for them because normally they're more of a domestic thriller, and I didn't get the domestic thriller vibe from this one.
No, it was very much solely based around Shay Miller and,
hmm
her mundane life before she witnessed this girl committing suicide in front of an oncoming train.
Yeah, and it was much different from their other books, I thought, but I really enjoyed it because it was different.
Yeah. Again, I think Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, they're one of their other recent books, An Anonymous Girl. It just didn't hit the mark with me. But the other one, The
Me
Wife
neither.
Between Us, their first one, I loved so much.
I agree with you. I loved it. It was one of my favorite books that I had read that year. And then
Mm.
Anonymous Girl started really strong, but it fell flat at the end for me.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so do you have Goodreads?
I do.
What did you rate You're Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah
Four
Pekkanen?
stars.
4 stars. Okay, so you're better than me. I rated it a 3.
Yeah, I'm like, it's probably more in between, but They don't give you the half option.
Exactly. I wish they did. So, what made you give it a 4-star review?
I think because I overall enjoyed it and I liked the action driven ending. The beginning
Mm,
was a little slow for me, but it did pick up in part two. And I liked that the twist wasn't at the end of part one like they normally are in her books. She
yeah.
waited till it was much closer to the end this time, which was another twist that I liked. They changed their writing style a little bit.
What did you think about how many point of views there were in this book? I think we had like what 7 points of views or something.
Yeah, some of them I thought were like Stacy and them. I probably could have done without their point of views,
Mm.
but I didn't mind everybody else's
Yeah,
because
I
they're
just found
main
it.
to the story.
Yeah, I just found it really like bogged down with too many characters and too many backstories. And it was really long, you know. I mean, the audio version is about 11 hours. And yeah, I think with so many characters, with an audiobook, obviously you listen to it in small chunks when you're able to listen to it.
Mhm.
And I just found it a bit like I had to go back and figure out who this person was and what their backstory was again because it just got a bit too complicated for me.
It did. It was definitely hard to follow all of them at the beginning. I think that was why the beginning was so slow for me because I was trying to figure out who's who and how they fit in.
Yeah. So what did you absolutely love about the book?
I loved the twist at the end. I don't want to say too much in case
Yeah.
nobody, but having to do with the sisters. I loved that twist, and I like the ending with the confrontation with Shay and one of the other characters.
Mm,
I think potentially she committed murder on purpose.
definitely. The ending really, really surprised me. I was like, whoa, okay. And there was definitely that like addictive aspect to the book.
Hmm.
So, you know, I listened to it while I was out on my like 5K runs in the morning, and it made me want to carry on going running because I wanted to figure out what was happening because I honestly had no idea where it was going to go.
Yeah, I kind of figured out the twist with James. I was expecting that one a little bit, but I did not see the other one coming.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a book all about lies and deception, deceit and revenge, and they're all really fantastic elements to a thriller book. But what did you think about the plausibility of this book? Did you find it believable?
Um, I don't know if I found it necessarily believable. I guess it depends how desperate a person would be, because it looks like loneliness is a driving force for Shay,
Mm.
and the more sisters use that to their advantage. Do I think a whole group of women would be okay doing what they did? Probably not.
Yeah, I just think that revenge side of everything was just maybe a little touch too far.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think the loneliness factor of Shay was very relatable and
Mm.
something that anyone could relate to. And the fact that they used that weakness against her, I think works. It's just the whole group themselves that's a little bit much.
Yeah. You know, there's just so many little things with this book, like, which is why I only gave it a 3 star. So, for instance, there's Cassandra and Jane, the Moore sisters, and I don't want to give the twist away, but there's another character, and somehow she just does not play into any part of their backstory throughout all the chapters. Then you're like, hold on, how does this actually add up?
Yeah, that's why I did not see that twist coming at all because they sort of put her in the forefront in the present, but not at
Mm.
all in any of the flashbacks. So it was hard
Wh-
to guess that.
It's yeah, it's clever, but also it's like, where was she during all this stuff that happened in
Yeah,
their
they just sort
childhood?
of reintroduce her like in the last
Yeah,
flashback.
it was very weird. So before we started recording this, I went onto YouTube. Do you know BookTube, the YouTube platform to discuss books?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, it's awesome. So, BookTube's a really, really great platform where you can review books and just interact with other book lovers, and it's more visual rather than Bookstagram, which is, well, Bookstagram's visual too, but so it's more audio
Yeah.
driven.
Or dynamic instead of static.
Exactly. So a lot of people were saying that You Are Not Alone had the Moore sisters had quite a Gossip Girl feel to it, because it was, high end people that had lots of money and had like a very clicky friendship setting. Like, what did you think about that?
I could see that. I watched the show on Netflix one time, so I could definitely see the Gossip Girl vibe, which is what I thought was really different for them because they never go that route. So it was interesting to see.
Yeah. So if someone was to read this book, what would you recommend it to them?
I think I would recommend it. I would recommend The Wife Between Us more, would be my
Yes.
first recommendation for them, and then this would be my second choice.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what they bring out next, to be honest.
Me too. I was trying to see if there's any tidbits out there about what their next book could potentially be, and I found nothing. So,
Well, with lockdown, hopefully they'll they'll be busy racking their brains for the next one for us.
yes.
What other kind of thriller stuff do you like? So you like books. What do you like? Thriller movies?
Oh, yeah, I like thriller movies, thriller shows. I'm watching Little Fires Everywhere right now on Hulu. I didn't actually read the book, but I
Is,
might read the
is,
book after.
is it good?
It is good.
Okay.
Reese Witherspoon sort of plays the same character that's very similar to her Big Little Lies character, I think,
Okay.
but it's very good so far.
I haven't actually finished Big Little Lies. Is that it?
Yeah, there was only 2 seasons, and the last season was eh.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I,
it got
I s-
canceled, so
oh no. Well, I started the first one, but like I loved the book. But yeah, just somehow just forgot to keep watching it. So I need to get into that. And then with Little Fires Everywhere, I saw that it was becoming a show in March. So I was like, oh, okay, I've got to get the book and read it before watching the show. But unfortunately, like I downloaded the audiobook and I just can't get into it. It's really slow. But then you see like the previews for the show and it's so intense and you're like, "Oh, I've got to figure out like where it gets interesting, because I really want to see the show, but I'm stubborn and I won't unless I can read the book first."
yeah, I think I heard that the show people liked better than the book was a few things that I heard. I read Truth Be Told and I tried watching that on Apple TV and it was vastly different and I never finished the show.
Okay. So what are you reading at the moment?
Right now I'm reading Dead to Her by Sarah Pinborough.
Is it good?
I'm really just started. I'm like 40 pages in because I had just finished Darling Rose Gold. Um,
Okay. How was that?
so
Because that's also another. There's so many things we have to talk about here.
yes, that one was really good. I liked it. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I didn't put my review up yet because some stuff's a little predictable and similar to the few other like Munchausen type things out there. So it wasn't necessarily original, but it was very entertaining.
Okay. So, I mean, Sarah Pinborough is one of my favorite authors. I thought her book, Behind Her Eyes, was fantastic.
See, that one I didn't like as much. I liked it until the end and it got really weird for me. And I was like, I think it's too weird for me, the ending.
Okay.
But I loved Cross Our Heart. That one was really good.
Yes, yes, I really enjoyed that one as well. What did I give that one?
I
But yeah,
probably did
absolutely.
4 stars, but I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I've just got it up on Goodreads. I gave it a 4 star as well. What is it? Dead to Me? What is that?
Dead to Her.
Dead to
So
Her. What's that premise?
she's a second wife. The husband cheated on his first wife with her, and now she's got the famous glitz and glam life. And there's a new young girl entering the scene who married one of the older men, and she thinks her husband likes her. And what would she do to keep her life the way it is? And they don't give
Ooh.
you too much detail other than that. I have a feeling that there's going to be a twist in the story, and I have a guess as to what the twist is, but I don't want to say it and ruin it.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to read that. I must actually go see if it's on Audible because unfortunately like I can't order too many paperback novels at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm in England and just don't have a bookshelf at the moment. So
Oh, I've
yeah,
packed up all my books for moving and then we hit a snag. So I've got
ooh.
boxes all over the place.
Oh no. Yeah, it's so nice when you can finally set up a bookshelf and, you know, how do you do it? Do you color coordinate or do you alphabeticalize or what do you
I do. I'm a little crazy, I think. I go by
do?
genre and then alphabetical by author and then in order of release date.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
super OCD.
Yes. That's why I'm like, I think I'm a little crazy about it, but
I think it's only fair at this stage to, considering where we are in the world, to ask you how your lockdown is going.
I'm not feeling it, I think, as much as everybody else. I'm considered an essential worker. So I work at a credit union, so I'm working every day. Um,
Nice.
but other than that, I'm staying home unless I have to go to the grocery store. So my family's doing okay. Nobody's been seriously sick or anything like that from it. So I'm happy
That's good.
about that.
Okay.
How's your family doing in the quarantine?
Well, I don't really know. So I left my family in February to move to Spain to work on the yachts. Then obviously that season came to an end, so I hot-footed it over to England before Spain closed its borders. I think the day after I got to England, the country went on lockdown, so I'm without work, and struggling. But it's a great time to take up things like crocheting and knitting and all these things that I'm like discovering.
I actually bought yarn to try and start knitting, and it was very hard. I didn't get very far yet.
Yeah, so I've gotten crocheting from Aldi. I got like a kit, and I did some knitting as well. Knitting I gave up on. It I did better in knitting than I did with crocheting at first, but yeah, now I made a headband with crocheting, so we've gotten a little bit further.
I think
But
I
I
bought the wrong yarn. I just bought like the prettiest one that I could find, but it's a little thicker and harder to work with. So probably should have bought something easier.
yeah, what kind of needles do you have? Are they wooden or are they
I
plastic?
I bought both, I think. I have like the metal and the bamboo. I went nuts one day and just bought a bunch of stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna learn.
I think so. I mean, from my YouTubing expertise, the wooden ones, the bamboo ones are probably better to start with because it's less slippy.
Yes.
Uh, Although my wooden knitting needles now look like they've been hacked to death because I have too much tension and then I have to keep trying to like
Mhm.
shove my yarn through the loops and then like just attack my own needles.
My problem is I'm left-handed, so any video I watch, I'm like, ugh, and
Oh.
I'm trying to watch left-handed videos, but they look weird, and so I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, I'm sure there must be like a left-handed YouTuber thing though,
Yeah.
surely. But yeah, what is so? I mean, in England, lockdown's pretty. Uh, uh, it's all right. There's no pubs or anything open, which really sucks. And McDonald's is apparently opening up again on the 13th of May, which would be really
Oh.
nice because it's just before my birthday.
Oh, when's your
But
birthday?
the 15th of May.
Okay, I'm the 22nd.
Oh, nice birthday, babes! Like, so we're allowed to go out for our, our
Mhm.
exercise and stuff, and the shops are a bit mental. You've got to keep 2 meters apart and stuff. But what's it like in America?
Yeah, everyone now has to wear masks if they go to the store, so everyone has masks on, and you're supposed to be like 6 feet apart. And really, just the grocery stores and liquor stores are open right now, and like big chains like Walmart and Target. Everything else is closed. Restaurants are doing takeout.
That's
They're
good.
hoping by May 20th, I think things are going to start opening back up, but we'll see.
Yeah, it would be so nice if the pubs just opened up right before our birthdays.
Yeah, I'm turning 30 this year, so I was looking forward
Mm.
to doing something, but now I think it'll just be Amaretto Sours at home.
Oh no. Do you have kids?
I don't, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, just if it is in lockdown, dress up and have like a nice romantic evening with your hubby.
Yeah, that we'll probably do something like that.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Like, there's literally nothing else. So, Dave keeps asking me like, "Well, what do I want to do for my birthday?" I'm like, "Well, there's not really many options, is there?"
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm 29 this year, so
Oh, there you go. We're close in age.
yeah.
Yeah. What is your current read right now?
What am I reading? I'm currently reading A Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin, the first book in the series, which I'm really enjoying. I'm over the halfway mark now, and also I'm listening to a book that I've been like dying to read for a while, which is The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. Have you ever heard of?
Oh, yes. How is that?
I am loving it.
Okay. I
So it's
love, love, love behind every door or behind
oh,
closed doors. I said it wrong.
yeah, so good, isn't it?
Yes. And then her second one was good, but not as great as the first one. And that third one I thought was terrible. So I was
Which
wondering
was
how
the
the
third
dilemma was going
one?
to be. Bring Me Back, I think it was called.
Yeah, I can't remember. I definitely know that Behind Closed Doors was my favorite.
Yes.
But so the dilemma, it'll be interesting if you get around to reading it, what you would think, because it's very slow paced
Hmm.
and it's a bit weird. So I'll tell you a little bit about what the premise is and stuff. So the dilemma is this woman who's always like dreamt of her 40th birthday party and making it super special because it's kind of like the wedding that she never had, because she had a baby young and stuff. So then one of her children they live in Hong Kong, but they want to come home and surprise her for her 40th birthday. But for some reason that which I won't mention,
Hmm.
the daughter doesn't want. I mean, the mum doesn't want the daughter to come home, and she's kind of relieved that she's not coming home. But the husband knows that the daughter is coming home to surprise the mum. And I know this sounds very confusing.
That's okay.
um, and then it turns out that there's been this really horrible plane crash, and the husband is like, "Oh my god, my daughter might have been on that flight." Right. But
Oh,
instead of just saying to the wife, "Oh, our daughter might be dead," he's just like, "Oh no, I've got to let her birthday carry on, and I'll tell her about it afterwards." And he's like, you know, trying to come to terms with everything in his head, and he's freaking out in his own head, and that's how the book is. And I'm just
oh,
like,
so you're
that
reading from the husband,
it's
or you
the
does it go
husband
back
and
and
the
forth?
wife,
Okay.
yeah. But it's just like, there's no dilemma. If your daughter has perished in a plane crash, I'm sure that takes preference over a 40th birthday party.
Yes. Huh,
Yeah.
that is interesting.
It's just a bit bizarre. And I was like, I don't understand. But it's really interesting to see how it's going to go because I don't know if the daughter's died yet or not. Yeah, absolutely loving it. It's
Yeah.
not a
I'm definitely gonna
thriller.
have to pick that one up. And as far as Game of Thrones goes, I love Game of Thrones.
Do
Obsessed.
you?
So,
Awesome.
I even have a tattoo.
Really?
Yes.
What tattoo do you have?
If you're only on the first book, you wouldn't know the saying yet, but it's something that Arya always says.
What is
Um,
it?
Valor Morgulis, and it means all men must die, and I have Arya's sword needle underneath.
How does your husband feel about that?
He likes Game of Thrones. Well, he didn't read the books, but he loves the show, and he likes the tattoo. I went and got it with him.
Okay. He's like, all men must die. Hmm.
Yeah. It more means like we all die in the end. Death is the one God we serve kind of deal. It's sort of her
Oh, right.
religion. Yeah.
Ah, cool. Okay.
You'll see.
So I
Arya's a
stopped.
really cool character.
So I stopped watching the show when Daenerys had her dragons and she had to trade one for something, and then like the dragon came back and ate someone or something.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped. So I'm quite far behind, and now I'm dying to just like read the books and watch the show as I go along. So yeah, I'm super
Yeah.
excited.
At a certain point, they completely diverge because the show gets way ahead of the books. But I love both. The end for the last season of Game of Thrones was a little I don't know if I would have wanted to see it play out that way, but it could have been worse, I guess.
What's weird though is that so now A Game of Thrones has come to an end, right? But
hmm
George R. R. Martin has said that he still has more books coming.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting for Winds of Winter. I think I read the books years ago, and people have been waiting like 10 years for Winds of Winter.
Gosh, okay, so there is still more TV show to come.
They're gonna do prequels for the TV shows, so like different stories based in the Game of Thrones world. But the shows come to an end. They got way ahead of the books.
Ah, okay, interesting. But if George R. R. Martin has more books coming out, then surely they'll be able to still carry on the show.
Well, he originally told them what his plans were for the book. So supposedly, how the show ended was how he wanted the books to end. Although I think
Oh.
most fans were very unhappy with the ending, so I think George R. R. Martin is now changing the ending in the books.
Yeah. So I don't know at all what happened, but I have been a little bit spoiled, and I know something about Daenerys and Jon Snow and how they were shagging each other, but they were actually like family, brother and sister or cousins or something.
Yeah,
And um yeah, that's a bit weird. But then we had like Cersei and Jaime Lannister like bonking, and
right.
they were twins, which is weird too. So that's where I am in the book at the moment. So.
Yeah, it's something that I expected, but then they didn't go a whole lot further with it in the last season. They really cut it short because I feel like they rushed the ending. Like they try to condense everything into 8 episodes instead of another season.
Where I am now in the book, because obviously I'm only on book one.
Mhm.
It's the very beginning. You can pick up so many hints that Jon Snow's mother was from the same Mother of Dragon community. The what are they called? Daenerys and
Targaryen.
Viserys. Yeah,
Yeah.
Targaryen. You can tell because in the beginning of the book, it's like, oh yeah, she's got these like I don't know if they say lilac or purple eyes,
hmm
and yeah, I just knew instantly. Okay, that's the biggest hint, but maybe you wouldn't pick it up so soon in the books as you did with the TV show.
No, I think he leaves hints throughout the books. You definitely suspect that his lineage is important and having to do with Targaryens, and that was the biggest fan theory for like the entire series. And you get confirmation in the show, but we're not at a point where we've gotten confirmation yet in the books.
Oh, so interesting. Well, Alyssa, it has been great having you on. If you ever want to come on again and chat about another thriller book that we're both reading, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun doing this with you.
Yeah, nice to have you on, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Books and Booze. You can find us on Instagram under Books Booze Podcast, or alternatively, boho_bookworm. We're also on Twitter under Books Booze Pod. We're also on Patreon if you would like to support us by donating as little as $1 a month. If you're looking for a free way to support us, please leave us a 5-star review. As always, it's been a pleasure. Happy reading and drink responsibly.